and Sid Show.
Guaranteed to be enormously successful.
It's about truth, the damn truth, New York's truth, the truth behind the BS. For New York, nothing at all in between. This is Bernard McGirt.
So Bernie.
This is Sid Rosenberg.
The one and only Sid.
Live, local, on it.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exclusively.
What is this?
77 WABC.
Baby.
Just you, baby. I like this song. See ya. This is a good song. 10:06 on your Monday morning. Back here on the Bernie and Sid Show on legendary 77 WABC. Another hot New York City afternoon. I do like this song.
It's a great, I love this song, but I have no idea what the hell she's saying.
Don't worry about it.
Or him.
I don't either. I don't need no something or other.
I don't need no
song
stinking badges.
It's a good beat.
Yo, got a good beat, yo.
How you doing, bro? How's your weekend? Nice?
I could be worse, but my feet are killing me.
Why?
A great time at the Dominicano Day Parade yesterday.
Oh, you were there. That's right.
That's right.
You actually, when they say you're Mr. New York, you actually have hit every single parade, from the Puerto Rican parade, the Jamaican parade, the Gay Pride parade.
My wife is, she's half Dominican, Dominicano.
Didn't know that.
Half Puerto Rican.
That's right.
And the other half is, and half black. And the other half is Polish and Jewish.
Yeah, none of this is true.
It's all true.
No, it's not.
Yo, mucho cerveza, baby. Dominicanos. Shout out to my Dominicano brothers and sisters. My wife's mother was born. She was born in Santo Domingo, as a matter of fact.
I know it well.
Louis Ricard is a Dominican.
Yes, he is.
I saw him at the parade yesterday. We were doing the, salsa, whatever the hell you call it.
I believe Pedro Martinez is Dominican too, I believe.
So is A-Rod.
Is he?
A-Rod is a Dominicano.
I don't think that's true.
It is true.
Is it true?
It is.
Okay.
Of Dominicano extraction.
Okay.
Born in Washington Heights.
Ah, yes.
See, I know what time it is.
Age of 4, moved to Miami, and maybe going back to Miami.
But it was a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Was it nice?
Beautiful. The ocean, body surfing for hours and hours.
Did you really do that?
I did, I swear to God.
See, here's a problem.
Why you don't believe anything I tell you?
You're like Hillary Clinton.
And,
I mean,
and then I went to
here he goes.
out on Long Island, a clam eating contest. And no, it was not Rosie O'Donnell's house.
Oh, you're so
no, I swear to God, it was in Island Park.
Yeah.
It was to raise money for local fire departments.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It was at Peter's Clam Bar in
Peter's
Island Park.
Clam Bar.
The world famous Peter's Clam Bar.
Yeah. World famous. I never heard of it.
You've never been to a clam eating contest?
Not at Peter's Clam Bar.
At Rosie's house.
Wait, there's an oxymoron.
I was at a Peter's myself on Saturday, and it is world famous.
I saw
Peter
that.
Luger.
Yes.
Yes. My buddy Tom Mango celebrating his birthday, and we had a blast.
I saw the picture, and it looked like good times.
It was good times.
Had by all.
We had a wonderful time.
Did you get a comped meal?
No. It kind of ruined it, doesn't it? My buddy Bud Schmeling didn't come through there, but we got plenty of the gold coins, kids like that. And then I really did almost join you yesterday at the Dominican Day Parade, but
it was fun.
you never got back to me, so.
It was a little on the warm side. I never got back to you. Yeah. Like you would have showed up.
Like you would be there in the first place.
You don't believe anything I tell you.
That's not true. Here's what I do.
I thought we were tight.
Yeah, we are tight, and honestly, outside of my immediate family, I'm not sure I love anybody more than you or as much as you. But here's what I do know is true about you. Not a lie. You are definitely voting for Donald Trump. That I know.
This is true. That's the one thing you know about.
You can kind of make up stuff, exaggerate stuff, lead me in directions I may not be going. But when it comes to Donald Trump, man, you are serious.
I have not stated a false fact all morning long.
What?
And with Donald Trump, the election is how far? What is it?
83 days.
83
It's close. Yeah, it's getting there.
The race is close?
No, the race is not close. It's close to election
Hey, he's
day.
coming out with a big speech today.
It's going to be great. He's going to tell us how he's going to beat ISIS.
Yeah. I kind of like some of the things he's saying, but it's obviously he's trying to be a little more sober and serious. But speaking of sober and serious, they're trying to burn down Milwaukee. What the hell's up with that?
Well, and Bo Dietl was on with us this morning on the Imus Show talking about this.
The cops? Wait, let me just say. I watched cable news yesterday, and I know what happened. A white cop killed an unarmed black kid.
Wrong. The cop was black who shot him,
and the kid was armed.
Right, exactly right.
Oh, I see. I see what I did there.
I saw what you did there.
You see, but when they were all over it yesterday.
Right.
You had CNN out there saying, standing in front of a burnt down gas station, saying, I mean, this looks terrible, but the residents will tell you that's what got this place attention. It was so it was a good thing what they did.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the kid had a gun and the cop was black, and maybe the narrative isn't what we were hoping for.
Plus, the kid I can't tell you how many priors the kid had, but they're like tons. And I think of all the people that have been shot by cops over the last couple of years with all this violence, starting with Michael Brown in Missouri. I believe this kid had the longest rap sheet of all, including just last year, or recently, I should say, intimidating somebody who's supposed to testify with a gun, threatening to kill that person. There are pictures of this kid in his car holding a gun out.
And they're burning Milwaukee down because why? Because they didn't know the facts. They're just itching to do
whether
something.
they know the facts or not. They knew the facts with Michael Brown. They knew the facts. They knew Darren Wilson was okay in what he did, and they still burned it down. And that is my issue with America today. Is you've got kids out there or guys out there being gunned down by police. Some, of course, horrible story. South Carolina, horrible story. Bad job by the cop. Chicago, bad job by the cop. But whether it's Michael Brown or this kid, these shootings are justified, and they know they're justified. And they're still burning down our cities. They are putting other people's businesses and lives on the line and making these thugs and lowlives a poster child for what? For what?
That's what I'm saying, Sid.
Thank you.
I love the passion, baby. Listen, I'm just hoping that in Milwaukee there's a hotel called the Pfister Hotel. I'm just hoping that place is a gem. I mean, the times we've had in the Pfister, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, have you stayed there? You've been there.
I know the place. I have not stayed at the Pfister.
It's literally called the Pfister Hotel. And it is a very, very popular place for people like me.
Yeah.
But listen, to get back to the series, out on Long Island, a cop stabbed in the face.
Yeah,
his nose almost severed.
That's right.
You know that?
I do know that. Bo talked about it this morning.
Also, out in New Mexico, a cop killed. His name is Jose Alvarez, a Latino cop killed. He stopped some people who were suspects in previous murders.
Yeah.
They shot him dead.
Jose,
I don't even know what the color of the perps are. We can look it up.
Doesn't matter.
Do you know there was a cop killed in Georgia? He was killed by a 24-year-old young black man who he responded to a 911 call. So that you have at least two cops dead, a bunch of cops wounded over the weekend.
Right.
And CNN is out encouraging these morons in Milwaukee to do stuff based on facts that they don't even know.
Disgusting. No, I'm with you. It pisses me off. It really does.
Speaking of disgusting, also, this Muslim cleric was shot.
The I-Man? Is that some of our news people? Our news people are like, I-Man shot this morning. It's Imam. It's not I-Man.
That's what our news was saying. But yeah, sure, we'll tell her it's Imam. It's an Imam.
Right, not the I-Man. Right.
But look, listen, man.
I thought I'd be doing this show for longer than a week, to be honest with you.
Oh man. Boy. Yeah, that would have been horrible. But it was. Look, it's horrific as it is.
Terrible story.
Terrible story. The guy left his mosque with an assistant, and he was stone cold executed. Somebody ran up behind him,
shot him,
and the police are describing him as medium complexioned.
Which guy?
The killer, the assassin.
Right. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm medium complexion right now. It was 94 degrees and sunny all weekend.
Where were you this weekend?
You know what? The guy was. He had hair.
Oh,
okay, you're off the
hook. Woof!
And
I'm off the hook.
He wore a short sleeve shirt, but he didn't quite have arms like that.
Plus, by the way, the Imam, after he was shot, the guy left $1,000 in his pocket.
Right.
So,
well, no, but
that ain't
of
me.
Course that
I'm taking it again.
He would have took his dashiki, take everything. So listen to the protesters. Listen to them.
See, the wise people in America know that Islam is a religion of peace and dignity. But those that deal in deception, in the satanic media, and people like Donald Trump are trying to use Muslims as the sheep to the slaughterhouse in order that he may achieve a higher level of government.
So before the facts are in, they're blaming Donald Trump and the newscast, the local newscast over the weekend. Community demands justice. Is there somebody not demanding justice? I mean, this is a disgusting crime. No matter who did it, they deserve. If it's somebody that was warped and listened to Donald Trump, he needs to be executed. If it's a guy who happens to be some rival mosque attendee or something, which he very very well might be. They arrested a guy last night at 11 o'clock. I haven't heard anything about it.
I'm not sure if it's the right guy. But I don't know.
But I tell you what, it might be. It might not be the hate crime that or the media is hoping for, because I haven't heard anything about this guy.
But why would they? He left money in. It wasn't a robbery. The guy left $1,000 in his pocket. He did seem like he was following the guy just to shoot him.
They're conducting a civil war in the Middle East between the Sunnis and the Shiites. They're killing each other left and right.
Well, that's still a hate
It's not
crime.
beyond the pale to think that it is something similar here. It's not beyond the pale. But to jump to the conclusion that it's some...
Well, it's more exciting.
That it's Donald
certainly
Trump
more exciting.
Induced.
Well, Donald Trump is out there saying ban all Muslims, and he's only... you start with ban all Muslims, then you go to... The obvious progression is kill all Muslims, so what is his fault?
So that they're not only pissed off at Trump, they're mad at this slob Mayor de Blasio. Take a listen. Cut 3.
Cold-blooded murder. It doesn't hate crime.
The mayor was supposed to come here and speak to this community and show love and compassion to the family. Don't send us a Muslim to speak to us. You're the leader. You come and talk
get your
to us.
lazy ass out here, bitch.
Jesus.
And he put out a statement, while we don't know yet the motivation for the murders of Mulama Akanji and Tharaoudin.
There's no way you said that right.
We do know that our Muslim communities are in the perpetual crosshairs of bigotry.
There you have it.
It's like automatic go-to.
Well, I mean, somebody was shot and killed.
Okay, but what perpetual crosshairs of bigotry is he looking like? For example, down at the Olympics, the anti-Semitism that's going on, and on the college campuses. I never hear him address any of that stuff here in this country.
Oh my God! You sound like Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani.
Communities are in the perpetual crosshairs of bigotry. Is that right? Is that true? Are there incidents of violence against Muslims that I don't know about?
I don't know either. I wouldn't know. I don't hang out there. I couldn't.
This slob. You know what the New York Times said about de Blasio?
What's that?
He has a schedule that would make most busy people jealous. The guy is a complete, total lazy slob. He sleeps late.
And that's what the Times says.
He engages in all this irresponsible rhetoric against the police and everybody else. And he's a total disgusting disgrace, this guy.
Well, the good news is, if you dislike de Blasio, and you should, I don't know why you wouldn't, as much as we do, Bo Dietl this morning with us on Imus came very, very, very close to announcing his candidacy. He is, and I'm being serious, he's putting together an exploratory committee. He's actually really thinking about it.
Great.
Bo Dietl coming close to doing just that.
Hey, well, we'll actively campaign.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, from here. Hey, you know what we have coming up, Sid?
I don't.
We have, we have a world-famous ex-pitcher.
He probably faced A-Rod once or twice, right?
Hey, by the way, you did a great job this morning on Imus.
Thank you.
Are you tired?
No, I feel pretty good.
Good.
But by Wednesday, I'm going to be ready to,
I wouldn't know.
You go through it every single week, so you know full well it's not an easy schedule. I was on the Q train this morning on Avenue U at 3:58 a.m. That makes for a very, very long day.
The Q train. A guy like you should be having like a big black Escalade pick you up. What's going on? The Q train?
Yeah, you would think Chad would send get Brandt back.
Yeah, right.
What is Brandt doing these days anyway?
He's probably down in Penn Station on a bench.
Probably, but no,
waiting for a train. So Curt Schilling is coming up in studio.
Awesome.
And then we have the big UFC 202 event on Saturday in Las Vegas. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, the rematch.
Yes.
The co-main event, Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Glover Teixeira. Anthony Rumble Johnson will be here in studio. This is one of the baddest dudes on the planet.
So we actually have, in all seriousness, two unbelievable athletes in studio the same day.
Exactly.
Two amazing Hall of Fame athletes.
You nailed it, Sidney. You nailed it.
Well, this is spectacular.
Fatigued and tired as you are.
Let's do this.
You nailed it on Bernie and Sid on WABC. Back after this.
You are listening to the Bernie and Sid Show on 77 WABC. This is former Congressman Anthony Weiner, and I'm listening too. And I can't figure out why.
The guy pulled out his gun. He cocked it, put it to my forehead. He said, "Get down." And I was like, I put my hands up. I was like, whatever. He took our money. He took my wallet. And he left my cell phone. He left my credential.
That was Ryan Lochte down at Rio.
What a mess. Don't forget to pack your bathing suit and your gun when you go to Rio.
Welcome to my old world, Ryan Lochte.
The Bronx is worse than Rio de Janeiro?
It was the Bronx. It was Yonkers. It was in the cab. It was working in the deli. It was gunpoints and smacked over the head and stealing the money.
Isn't Framingham a lot like that, Curt, and Marblehead and Sharon and all those? No.
Were you ever robbed at gunpoint?
Me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where?
Why do I have to talk about this
You're
for?
a liar.
No, I swear to God. Avenue U in Brooklyn.
Is that right? Okay, so welcome to our world.
Hillary
man.
Clinton held him up with gunpoint.
What's the matter with you?
She held up the nation without a gun.
Has
actually.
been.
Have you
At
ever
least
been held
Jesse
up by
James
gunpoint?
wore a mask.
What about you, Curt Schilling? Never?
Nope.
Never.
I carry my own.
Ah, yes.
Nice.
But be careful because Hillary, she's going to take that away from you.
No, she's going to start to take it away from you, and then we're going to let the rest of the politicians finish that.
Is that that's how it's going to go?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Yeah, it's going to be. Before we move on to Hillary Clinton, I know you have some strong feelings. Curt Schilling joins Bernie and Sid in the studio right here.
Are there any other kind?
Well, I guess there are some people who are just on the fence, actually. But you, first of all, the Olympics. As a former athlete, a great athlete of all time.
Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
What do you, disaster on the Olympics or something you're following?
Not like I used to. I mean, I can remember growing up, the Olympics, the whole family sat and watched the Olympics, and it was a special. I mean, you look forward to it. Now it's not the same for me.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that because a guy like you doesn't like Obama, doesn't like Hillary Clinton, thinks this country is a mess, going down a hell in a handbasket, do you think with all that said that it's something gets excited about winning a race in a pool when the country is losing the race?
Well, but I appreciate. I mean,
that's pretty deep,
right?
But I appreciate the effort, right? I mean, every 4 years, you wait 4 years to do this, and that kind of a commitment, that kind of work ethic to be the best in the world of something. It's pretty cool. Michael Phelps, I mean, that was
incredible.
Every one of them was incredible.
Yeah. Usain Bolt is amazing. God.
But why do people like race him still? He needs to. He's going to win till he dies.
Right, pretty much.
Yeah, well, but the Olympics, the ratings are again down on that whole thing. And,
terrible.
I don't know. It's just, to me, skip the male gymnastics and show us more ping pong.
Well,
maybe you'll get some ratings.
Ping pong's
also,
good.
They won't show the ping pong.
I don't know why.
When we grew up, you had, 4, 5, 7 channels?
Yes, you did.
Now
you have 100.
And the other thing is, people can DVR. They don't have to watch the Olympics live.
Yeah, but why would you want to do it if you know the guy won?
Well, but the same reason some people do it for Sunday Night Football.
Well, that's true.
Well, some of the things that they celebrate too, like NBC and the media, like the female Muslim fencer. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. She won a bronze.
Enough of that.
But they celebrate this, but they don't include her anti-Semitic tweets.
No.
I mean,
right.
Let's present the whole full story, okay? Media, please. Everybody.
I don't disagree.
I mean, if
I can't watch Costas, I can't watch Lauer, I can't watch any of them. I can't.
1-800-848-9222. Bernie and Sid. Curt Schilling live in studio. More with Curt.
He's running for president.
A lot with Curt.
He's going to run for president. It's not a joke. This is serious stuff.
Back after Deb with the news.
Get to Bernie and Sid now. 800-848-WABC. Where New York comes to talk. 77 WABC.
Remember when he said he did not have sex with that woman? Then a couple of weeks later, you got me. Oh, I'm so glad they kept the dress. I'm so glad they kept that dress. All right? It's great. You know why? Because it shows what the hell they are. All right? It shows what they are.
Donald Trump talking about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and the dress. I did see our friend Lonnie Davis yesterday on with Skamonish, whatever that guy's name is.
Smirkanish.
It didn't go well. It didn't go well for Lonnie. No. I mean, you
surprising.
Can't. Yeah, because you got Hillary in line. You can't defend her. But I will say this before we get to Curt talking about.
That was CNN. That's why it's surprising.
Right. Exactly. And he kept going on and on about how he's down the middle and he's trying to, both guys. So anyway, I'm on Twitter last week, and you can follow the show at Bernie and Sid. I'm at Sid Rosenberg. And I see our friend Curt Schilling here, the great Curt Schilling, in a battle, a war with former great New York Giant linebacker Carl Banks.
Oh, by the way, I love Carl Banks. I know him very well, as Sid does. He's off the hook. He's half out of his mind. I mean, he has got demons in his head. And he's a big dude, as you know.
Big dude. Boy. And extremely liberal. And it got to the point we almost set up an actual debate. Forget about Trump and Clinton. It was going to be between Schilling and Carl Banks at Kingsborough Community College.
He's actually a fashion designer on top of everything
he makes
else.
clothes.
But what was the deal?
He was complaining
That what?
He was just being liberal.
He hates Donald Trump, and he likes Hillary.
Well,
where was he doing
the
this?
racist
On Twitter?
On Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, he said who was being a racist?
I don't remember how. So I responded to him initially, and then it got going. I didn't realize who he was until near the end of the conversation. I was like, wait, because I grew up a Steeler fan, so screw the Giants.
Right.
But,
hell with him. Especially after what they did to Tom Coughlin.
Yeah,
dead to me now.
Did he call you names?
No. He was cool about it.
He was cool.
Yeah, he said so, and I think both at the end he said, I think we have a lot more in common than we both might think we.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah,
very nice guy.
Yeah, it wasn't
very nice guy.
It wasn't bad. It was just we were doing what Americans are allowed to do.
So can we do what you turned down Stephen A. Smith to do, which is have a debate between you and Carl Banks? Can Sid Rosenberg and I
would moderate it.
Well, you're talking
Henry
about
Kissinger.
Moderate.
Yes.
First of all,
what?
Stop.
You want me to use the debate?
I'd be like having Anderson Cooper interview Donald Trump. Yeah,
but I'm here too.
No, we'd be fair. We love you. Yes.
I know.
I'd be on your side. He'd be on Banks' side.
I'm on nobody's side.
You're on Hillary's side.
No, I don't like her. I just like him
You're still going
less.
to vote for her?
Well, I like him less.
That's such a...
I
don't even... That's...
What? Let's go to Twitter. Right now, me and you like Banks.
Stop.
Okay, so speaking of Donald Trump, and we'll keep that in mind with Carl Banks, all right? We could set something up.
We should do it.
We have a rapprochement between you and Carl Banks right here on the Bernie and Sid Show. But on the Donald Trump issue, I mean, by all accounts, he's tanking in the polls. He's saying things according to the media that he's and perpetuated by the media, putting his foot in his mouth, and they accentuate it. They exponentially, blow it out of proportion. Your thoughts, Curt Schilling?
The media is not perpetuating anything. The media is driving the narrative to get her elected.
That's true.
They've made it very clear that they want her as a president, and the scary part is they've stopped being deceitful about it. They're just openly, blatantly irresponsible, ignorant, stupid, and all the things.
They are all in. As one website calls it, they're giving Trump the full pail.
Listen, she is the most corrupt, despicable human being in the history of presidential elections to run for office. And I'm talking about her husband ran, and he's close second.
You would never know it if you watch the media, but she's being sued by two Gold Star parents.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What is that?
But you there are things like I always felt like there are certain things you could do that would show people what you are. You could be as nice as you want, but you see somebody kick a dog, that's a bad human being, right? I mean,
absolutely.
She called the families of 4 men she was responsible for being murdered liars.
Right.
After lying to them.
Which is what.
And I think
I would caution you at saying she's responsible for them being murdered.
Well, no.
Slow down there.
Look at the job description for Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Secretary of State. One of the bullet points is safety and security of American ambassadors and personnel overseas. So that was her job. She was in charge.
Sid doesn't want you to get suspended. That's why he's cautioning you.
You can't get suspended being unemployed.
I know that.
No, what are you talking about? You're doing a great job at Breitbart. You did a 3-hour show this morning.
But this is I honestly believe, based on her rhetoric and the things that she's done, you vote for her, you're turning your back on our police officers and their families. In the
I mean, that's the one thing. Peter King mentioned that on the Imus in the Morning show on Friday morning. Hammer home the fact that she's a cop hater. She paints cops as racist. She had Michael Brown, his mother, at the Democratic National Convention. Paint that and the anti-military stuff and the corruption.
But you saw but we're at a point now where people just laugh off the corruption.
Well, the media does.
You saw the tax return. $1,042,000 that Clinton gave to charity.
Yeah,
$1 million was to the Clinton Foundation.
Right.
They gave themselves $1 million.
Still $1 million more than Donald Trump's
given to anybody. No. They gave it to themselves.
I understand.
Right? $42,000 to a charity golf tournament that 6 months later kicked in $700,000 to the foundation.
And can I just say
how do you know about that, though? I'm just curious. Because it's the taxes.
It's out, yeah.
No, but taxes that Donald Trump refuses to put out there.
I can't imagine why, because the media is. They won't make anything up.
Because he hasn't done anything. Maybe he hasn't made the contributions. Maybe he's not worth nearly the amount of money. Maybe he hasn't paid taxes. That's not possible,
He runs or owns over 500 companies. He's gone bankrupt less than 15 times, and apparently that's what everybody wants to talk about.
He uses advantageously.
He's created, 100,000 jobs,
the loopholes, and he's created jobs. And by the way, the Clinton Global Charity that people talk about, only 10% of that money goes to the actual charity. The rest goes to patronage jobs, goes to 4-star luxury hotels, goes to private jets. It's a bunch bunch of crap.
It's scum of the earth stuff. So they took money from the people of Haiti.
I know, exactly. There were Haitians protesting at the Democratic National Convention. You would never know it if you watched the media.
Well, listen, if you close your eyes and you went to both conventions, at the DNC, you'd think the world is great. Everything's fine. We're doing good.
Right.
You know, our cops are bad people, but hey, everything's. If you go to the RNC and you hear this, but it's always been that way. Republicans, conservatives, we live in the real world. We recognize the fact that all of the things that are happening, we want everybody to get along.
Hey, listen, CNN cut away from a riot at the Democratic National Convention to go to a performance of Boys to Men.
Yep.
I mean, we don't want to embarrass our candidate.
Don't bring up the conventions because the DNC was 1,000 times better. Forget about the rhetoric. It was just a better convention. It was produced better.
Just another media
better.
Example.
That's fine. But listen, I would ask you this. When Donald Trump loses in November, he's going to lose.
No.
Yes, he's
going to win.
When he loses,
might win Reagan-esque like.
What is the excuse going? Is it going to be the media's fault? Is it going to be Paul Ryan's fault? Is it going to be Sid Rosenberg's? Well, how are all these millions of people that have voted for Hillary and will vote for Hillary come November?
No.
That's stupid. How are they that stupid?
Well, hold on a second. You're the same group of people that were saying that the Brexit vote was going to be Remain.
Excellent.
10 or 12 points before the day before the polls were showing us. The media is absolutely advocating for Hillary Clinton.
What I'm saying to you is that's fine. But if Trump wins, that's great. But if he does lose,
he's not going to lose.
If he does, in a hypothetical, if he does, you're going to have to blame somebody. You're not going to blame him because he's been great. But who are you going to blame?
Who cares? I mean,
are you telling me that America is that stupid that we can't figure out that Hillary Clinton is this awful of a candidate?
We voted Obama twice, so we are that stupid.
We are a nation of common denominator nitwits.
Listen,
people who watch
60, 70 years ago,
the Kardashians and Real Desperate Housewives.
60 or 70 years ago, blacks couldn't vote. 150 years ago, there was slavery in this country. 8 years ago, we elected an African-American president, and 8 years later, we are more racially divided than we've ever been in our lifetimes.
Look at Milwaukee.
How does that work?
Yeah, something went wrong. So the hope and change narrative did not play out.
Democratic socialism is doing wonders in South America. It's doing wonders over in Europe. I mean, Detroit. Hell, only 40% of the people in Detroit are unemployed, and the average income is a little over $14,000.
The real unemployment numbers are staggering.
It's almost 100 million people out of work.
Obamacare insurance premiums are going to rise right after the election.
There's my man right there.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark. Yeah, he's the one.
That's who. Yeah, put him in charge of Homeland Security.
Make him the VP choice. Donald Trump's VP choice.
Yeah,
absolutely right. The guy speaks
Colonel
truth to
West.
Power. Colonel Allen West. But listen, let us segue quickly because we have about 5 minutes here. So we want to get your thoughts on Alex Rodriguez and that whole embarrassing debacle that went down over
And on top of that, not just that, but now reports are that with Stanton going down for the season with the Marlins, we knew this last week anyway, being that Alex is a Miami boy and Loria loves him, he in all likelihood is going to sign now with the Miami Marlins.
The only reason that would happen is because Jeffrey Lurie is the stupidest and worst owner in professional sports.
Agreed.
All right. I think the Yankees embarrassed themselves. Yes. In the way that they handled this. People don't understand. He played Friday and he was unconditionally released.
The next morning.
He didn't retire.
Right. He was pushed out. Why was Girardi crying after the game? What was that?
But that, I don't know. That was.
I mean, wasn't he part of the guys who pushed him out?
Well, I'm assuming so. And he was not joking when he said they asked him about playing third base that last game. He's like,
no way.
He was pissed. Right. Like I'm not around to manage farewell tours.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Right.
2015 we said farewell to the king.
Well, that was different.
Why?
Don't badmouth Derek Jeter.
No, I'm not going to.
Listen,
I love competing against him, but I think, just like Ortiz this year, I think about halfway through the season, I think he was sick and tired of all of it.
Oh, I think you're right.
You know,
and Mariano. But think of the juxtaposition. Friday night you had this A-Rod goodbye, which was a joke. Saturday, they did, in fact, have a ceremony for the 96 team that won 1 billion games, and yesterday was Mariano Rivera Day.
Yeah, well,
think about that.
I don't wish anybody to feel like he's feeling right now. Because Mariano Rivera was the only former teammate that showed up to the game Friday when he was quit. And then the next day,
oh, really?
They all showed up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you know what?
Quite a statement.
But you know what? I think. But
plus it rained on A-Rod's parade. And the New York Post headline on Saturday: God hates A-Rod.
I can't remember, but I've got to come. The couple of the headlines the New York Post has come up with in the last 30 days have been some of the greatest stuff I've ever read.
Yeah, so God hates A-Rod, and so does Curt
but
Schilling.
No,
he
I
doesn't
don't
hate
hate him.
A-Rod.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Okay.
I got a chance to run into him in 15 when he reported to camp after everything that happened in 14, and I apologized to him. I because I'd read the article in ESPN, the magazine, how he confronted his daughters, and I had to sit down and explain to them how he was a fraud.
Yeah.
I don't wish any parent that he made his own bet. I'm not saying I feel sorry for him. Because he made his bet.
But you don't hate him.
No,
he's
God,
not a pedophile or murderer.
He's not like a Clinton.
Right.
I mean, he is. But he made his bet, and it was funny because I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, and we had never got along. I did not like him when we played, and I said, listen, I just, I read the article in the ESPN magazine. I just, I want to apologize." He goes, "For which part?" But I said I wanted him to walk away. Because I know how much he loves the game. I know what a baseball genius he is, and I don't wish anybody to feel like that.
So if you don't hate Alex Rodriguez, give me 3 people. Give me and Bernard, us, 3 people. And it's a tough word, a very strong word, hate.
I don't use it. I can't.
Who are 3 people you strongly dislike?
Let's go loathe.
3 people.
Loathe.
Yes,
Hillary
3.
and Bill Clinton.
Hillary and Bill count as one because they're together.
Yeah,
that's one.
Right.
Could be an athlete, could be an entertainer, could be a politician.
Preferably a politician.
Michael Moore.
Oh, yeah.
That fat bag of
Hey, you're fat shaming now. Yeah. By the way, did you see David Hinckley's picture?
Lena Dunham and Rosie O'Donnell.
Lena Dunham and Rosie O'Donnell. Okay.
Together they weigh 507 pounds, and Lena Dunham weighs 7.
She is gross.
They're gross.
She sexually abused her little sister.
Are they not reason enough to vote for Trump? Because they're leaving the country if he wins.
Absolutely.
Well,
not only that.
To be honest, you kind of get me.
All of these. Let me go back to this. The Olympics. All the anti-Semites at the Olympics, the Muslims, that she wants to allow them in exponentially more than what Obama's allowing in right now. The refugees with that similar mindset, gay hating, women subduing, Jew hating mindset.
She had the father of a mass murderer sitting behind her.
She didn't have that. She didn't know he was there. Stop.
Well, first off, you don't sit behind you don't sit behind anybody without being
Trump had a
vetted.
pedophile, Mark Foley, sitting behind him. Okay, a pedophile, Mark Foley, sitting behind him. So one good turn, I guess, deserves another.
Really?
Well,
he murdered his son, and he made it very clear he doesn't like our country. He said it in the past,
right?
And it
By the way, the pedophile heard that Trump was going to put minors back to work, and so it was a misunderstanding. So that doesn't count.
Not minors, ORS, right? ERS?
Yeah, it's just...
what's the matter
messages
with you? What's the matter with you?
Despicable.
So, Curt Schilling, listen, you survived throat cancer. You look great now. You put the weight back on. God bless.
Too much.
What is next for you? Work for Breitbart now?
No, I don't work for Breitbart. I did the morning show today. I'm getting ready to start my own show.
Remember what he said? He did not have sex with that woman.
Right, there you go.
Then a couple...
Isn't that the beauty?
Yeah, I still love
when the
guy.
left and the right despise you right now, you're doing something right. Because I can't stand either side.
Yeah, but I can tell you that the left and right despise Hillary, too. There's a lot of people in the left that are really pissed
every
at
human
Hillary.
being in the world should Hillary is everything that's wrong with this country.
Yeah.
Remember
with the system, yeah.
Wait, Republicans are rich white people, right?
Bingo.
Look at the 17 candidates.
I hear you.
You had an African-American, a woman, a Cuban, and a Mexican.
And they all lost.
And in the Democratic, you had an old white guy, an old white guy, and an old white girl.
How about that?
The rock smells what you're cooking.
That is fair.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why you at least said that. I don't know if you said this or intimated this a couple of weeks ago, that you are considering running for president of the United States.
No, that was actually a kind of an off-the-cuff comment after talking about running for a state office. I believe I'm going to run for
You are going to run?
I think I am.
In Massachusetts?
I would like to get Elizabeth Warren out where she belongs, which is back teaching her Indian brethren whatever it is they teach each other.
See, it's all personal with you. That's what's great about you.
Because,
it's personal.
Well, because I'm raising kids in this world.
I got it. Me too.
It is personal, yes.
We're handing them
That's right.
a crap show.
You can believe that.
And I am terrified of my kids never coming home from the mall or the movie.
That's why it's personal, because it directly affects our kids.
I feel the same way.
Curt Schilling, we're desperately out of time. But we love you.
Thank you, guys.
We really do. Keep coming back.
Hey, by the way, we have Anthony Rumble Johnson from the UFC. Your quick thoughts on the UFC? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm not going to thumb down those. There's one
it's
here.
a great sport. Curt Schilling on Bernie and Sid. Anthony Rumble Johnson coming up next.
Curt. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Bernie and Sid Show.
Guaranteed to be enormously successful.
It's about truth, the damn truth, New York's truth, the truth behind the BS. For New York, nothing at all in between. This is Bernard McGirt.
So Bernie.
This is Sid Rosenberg.
The one and only Sid.
Live, local, on it.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exclusively.
Bernie and Sid.
77 WABC.
From the beginning.
You didn't take 155, though. You did not take 155.
I did too. Initially,
you didn't take 155,
Yes,
Nick.
I did.
But that's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. 170. Get comfortable. 170, brother. Get comfortable.
I don't give a
I don't give a either. I don't give a either. I tell you, I like Nick's little bro. I do. I honestly like Nick's little bro. You know what I mean? How can you not like him? He's like a little cholo gangster from the hood.
Back on Bernie and Sid on WABC, that was the voice of Conor McGregor, UFC's Conor McGregor, who fights in a rematch against the guy he was talking about, the Nate Diaz, this Saturday coming up in Las Vegas. It's on pay-per-view. 10 p.m., folks. It's going to be great. It's they're welterweights. McGregor actually rose up in weight to fight this fight. But to that point, our next guest, who's on his way up in the elevator, he's on the co-main event of this card. His name is Anthony Rumble Johnson, and this is one of the baddest dudes on the planet.
Is that right?
205 pounds. He was actually, a couple of times he was scheduled to fight, once or twice anyway. John Bones Jones, that's a name you might have heard of.
Well, he's always in trouble, that guy. Well, I don't even follow the sport. I know he's always in trouble.
So that's why I brought his name up, because a lot of people do know who he is. He's actually the brother of an NFL player, but whatever. He got suspended just before he was supposed to fight Rumble Johnson here. And Johnson has like a 21-5 record. He's going to fight some dude named Glover Teixeira.
No relation to Mark Teixeira, or is there?
Could be. He's a transplanted Brazilian.
They're spelled the same way. That's not a very popular name, Teixeira, and it's spelled the same way. Wonder if they're related.
It could be shocking to me if they were related.
It would be very exciting. It would otherwise bring excitement to a match at Johnson Teixeira. I'm not sure exactly what kind of... Well, who knows? The sport's doing great, right? I mean, you're excited. Look at you.
Are you kidding me?
You're pumped up.
Dan Mulqueen is in the studio here.
He's another... he's
intern
retarded,
Gil is
another retard.
Is beside himself. Gunzelman is beside
another
himself.
Retard. Keep going.
Wait, what are you saying? Tell me what you're saying about the sport before Rumble gets in the studio.
I'm saying that it takes...
Because I know you're not going to say it when he's here.
Oh, I absolutely will.
Tell me.
It takes someone between a retard and a Neanderthal to enjoy that sport. I mean, there's no other way to put it. There's nothing to it except for blood, gore, gun. Now, they're courageous. They're great athletes and great fighters.
There's nothing to it.
No.
They're fighting each other.
Oh.
It's boxing with balls.
Oh, stop.
It's boxing
with no rules,
boxing without the pillows on your fists.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's manly.
I'm very excited.
It's warrior
very
stuff.
excited. I can't wait.
You watch the NBA in basketball. A guy brushes somebody else with his shoulder. They blow the whistle. What did you do? You hit him with your shoulder. Stop the game. Take 2 shots. You can't do that. This is manly stuff.
So that means it's manly. Yes, makes it a great sport.
It's it is better than any Olympic sport.
No,
it goes back to.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's a gladiator sport. It goes back to the Greek days, except without the sword.
One of the Romans.
They fight almost to the death. They actually choke them out until the guy's unconscious.
This is great.
I've seen him do that.
Yeah.
To people, I've seen Rumble Johnson. I was watching some of the tapes.
Yeah.
It's most exciting, thrilling a sport.
Very exciting.
And on the way, and in UFC 205 coming up.
205
in New York
City. Does that mean
City.
there were 204 events before this?
That's right.
Wow. Really?
You know, listen. If we're gonna have a guest on to promote a sport,
what am I supposed to do?
Get yourself jacked
Frankie
up.
Edgar was in here last time, and by the way, he loves me. I'm his Frankie Edgar loves me.
Frankie Edgar.
Right, and I said to him the same thing I'm going to say to Rumbles Johnson, which is...
It's not Rumbles.
What is it? What is it?
It's going to kick Sid's ass, Rumble Johnson.
You're going to do a goddamn thing. It'll be very nice to me. By the way, I'm more excited about Trump's speech today and how he's going to defeat ISIS. I swear to you, I am more looking forward to hear how Donald Trump, because all he's told me for 13 months is he's going to destroy ISIS. So I can't wait to see what he has to say. I'm much more excited about that than Rumbles against Mark Teixeira on Saturday.
He's going to have He's going to say no refugees from terror nations.
All right.
He's going to say no more nation building or democracy seeking.
I'm okay with
which
that.
is like a big thing. That's Hillary Clinton's MO, right?
Not
there.
really,
It's
but
getting
that's
our guys killed so people can stick their thumbs in ink. That's disgusting.
What else?
And also, it's going to be he's going to have an ideological test where he'll ask people coming in their views on religious tolerance, on gay rights.
Yeah, but how's he beating ISIS?
On the state of Israel.
Okay, great. But is he dropping a bomb? Is he putting ground troops in? What's he doing?
I'll tell you what, Sid.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a little bit. But we're going to break now and come back for Anthony Rumbles Johnson. I'm Bernie and Sid on WABC. Back after this.
Bernie and Sid, two brains, one show.
Guaranteed to be enormously successful.
77 WABC.
Rumble trying to finish Alexander Gustafsson. He's in big trouble. Anthony Rumble Johnson. Oh, that was it's all over. Anthony Rumble Johnson finishes Alexander Gustafsson.
Wow. That was impressive. Anthony Rumble Johnson as advertised.
Back here on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC, the aforementioned Anthony Rumble Johnson. He's going to be on the card at the UFC 202 this Saturday night in Las Vegas. The main event is Conor McGregor, the rematch with Nate Diaz. The co-main event, Anthony Rumble Johnson with Glover Teixeira. These guys, this is an exciting weight class. It's 205 light heavyweight. Anthony Rumble Johnson in the studio with Bernie and Sid, one of the baddest dudes on the planet right here. Sitting and Sid, by the way, I see you kissing up to.
Well, I know him. We have a friend in common. We had met each other in Miami years ago. I actually know him.
Anthony, welcome to Bernie and Sid. Thank you for being in New York and coming on the show.
Thank you.
How you feel? First of all, how you feeling about the fight Saturday night with Glover?
I feel great. I'm just ready to get it over with. I've been training for so long for a 15-minute fight, and it feels like forever.
How many hours a day you train for a 15-minute fight?
3 or 4
every day.
Every day.
I mean, you look great.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But Teixeira it's this Saturday again, pay-per-view. Teixeira, of course, he is another bad dude. I saw him. He beat up Ovin St. Preux one time.
Yeah.
He choked him out.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a bunch of fights, but he is incredible. I mean, are you fearful in the least of a guy like? Not at all.
No, not at all. No. When you're training and you've been in so many fights, it's just feel like it's just a job. And
it doesn't
this is what
matter.
you do.
Listen, you were a college wrestler. You were into you got into the MMA stuff at about age 20 years old, and you grew up in Dublin. You're an Irish kid. And your heroes when you were growing up were Walter Payton and your grandfather, right?
Yes.
Why Walter Payton?
Sweetness. He just, he was small and just didn't give up. It took everything. Right. It took more than one guy on the field, sometimes more than the team, just to bring one guy down. So I really look up to him.
I loved him, too. I was actually upset when Emmett Smith broke his record for all-time leading rusher.
Yeah?
I was actually
upset.
That's
one great back to the next.
I know, but were you pissed off at our good friend Mike Ditka when the Bears won the Super Bowl and he did not – William the Fridge Perry scored a touchdown. He did not give Peyton the ball to score a touchdown. Did that piss you off? Do you remember that? Or?
No, I know what you're talking about. But it didn't piss me off.
Yeah. Well, I figured the one shot at the Super Bowl, Walter Payton should have scored. But, but he was a great family. His kids, to this day, is still a very
rest in peace, Walter Payton. And so, of course, as I said, you're 205 pounds, light heavyweight, a very exciting weight class in the UFC, which is the most exciting sport out there today, in my opinion. My partner disagrees. He crashes it. He says, what did you say before?
You have to be, and don't take this, don't take offense, I love you, but you have to be somewhere between retarded and a Neanderthal to see somebody get their ass kicked. I was at a fight once.
We're the modern day gladiators. That's it.
Thank you.
I sat there with an 8-year-old kid. His dad was fighting in the ring. It was one of these fights, and I was doing the ring announcing after each fight. And it was like one kick to his father's face. The blood actually hit me. I was wearing a suit. The blood was all over me. The blood was all over the kid. The kid could not be consoled. He thought his father had died right there. I mean, it takes a little far.
That's the dad's fault, though. He didn't explain. He didn't explain it to his kid what can happen. He probably just went on there and said, "Daddy's going to be okay and Daddy's going to win."
He almost died.
He didn't say Daddy can get his head knocked off at the same time.
That's right.
That's
right. Hey, I watched a fight a week ago. Some Polish guy knocked out some Czech guy with a kick. I've seen you do it as well. knocked him out with a kick to the head. The guy just bounced on the floor, out cold. It was, it's just exciting. I mean, you guys, that can happen to you at any moment, or you can be rendered unconscious with a choke. I mean, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of bravery. I was saying before, the NBA, they blow the whistle. Two guys bump up against each other with their shoulders, and the game stops. I mean, give me a break. This is real manly warrior stuff.
Here's part of the problem. We had Frank Edgar in here a little while ago. He loves boxing and UFC, right, Ant? So what happens is, I'm a boxing guy. Always been a boxing guy. I've worked for HBO. I've covered before Tyson's career. Always loved boxing. So what happens is, if you like boxing, according to Bernard, you're a pussy. Because boxing is a wuss sport compared to yours. So all of a sudden, boxing versus UFC becomes like Rangers Islanders, Trump Clinton. You're either one or the other. And the truth is, you guys like them both, right?
I love both. I love boxing. Mike Tyson and Ali are my favorite boxers.
Oh yeah,
by far.
Mine too. And it's a 20th century phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, boxers now, they aren't the same like they were back then. Everything is all now. It's all politics and who's got the biggest mouth and all that other stuff.
Well, De La Hoya and Bob Arum kind of ruined that.
Yeah, they don't have warriors like they used to.
No. I agree.
Each weight class.
And there's no heavyweights. That's the problem. You get like the smaller guys, the Mayweathers, but there's no the Alis and Norton and Shavers and all those guys.
And I mean, a lot of people don't like Mayweather just because he doesn't stand there and bang.
He's boring, but he wins.
To me, it's not even boring. He's just being a great boxer. He's hitting and moving and sticking and doing whatever he needs to do to win. He's not trying to sit in there.
Could he beat one of you guys? And everything being relative, same weight class.
In an all-out fight? Or in a boxing match?
Hey, listen.
Depends on what you're talking about.
He couldn't beat Ronda Rousey. I can tell you that right now.
If she grab him.
That's what I'm saying.
He might go for get some fly miles on him.
But by the way, you got Sid to agree that boxing is a sport of the past because of whatever reason, and for that I thank you. Now listen, you were supposed to fight John Bones Jones, and he was suspended. He was the biggest thing in the light heavyweight division. And now you're saying that
He still is. His name is still relevant. You know what I mean?
Right, but
he's such a popular and he was such a force to be reckoned with. He was the champ, period,
He was supposed to fight. He was pulled last minute for substance abuse. Is he going to be banned for 2 years? I heard that's the rumor.
I don't know. I'm not part of the commission or USADA or anything like that. I don't know. But I assume that's what's going to happen.
He's the guy you should be fighting because you and he are two of the baddest dudes on the planet.
I want to fight him.
But you can't fight. You can't fight though. He's in trouble.
Yeah.
But now you did fight Daniel Cormier, and you lost to him. And Cormier lost to John Bones Jones. So what happened with Cormier? He choked you out at the end.
Yeah. He beat me. I mean, that's it.
Right.
He beat me. I don't have any excuses. He beat me. He was the better man that night. But hopefully, I get my chance.
I was going to say,
again.
When you lose to a guy, do you have this compulsion to get back and take that guy on again? Or are you okay with, that guy beat me, let me move on to the next guy? Or are you like, this guy beat me, I can't beat him? I'm
no,
sure you're not thinking that.
I don't think that at all.
Right.
When he beats me, if I get beat by somebody, I'm like, okay, they were the better man that night. I know my talent.
Right.
And I know deep down inside I can beat the guy. I just have to put my mind to it. And that's it. And I don't take anything away from him, but I don't take anything away from myself either.
No.
I'm just like, you can't win them all.
Right.
You can't.
Rocky Marciano did.
You can't be.
He won every single fight. I'm just telling you.
You can't be 49
and
0.
The Patriots.
You can't be 49 and 0 and retire or whatever.
Not in your sport.
And then say you're the greatest.
Right. That's right. We're talking to Anthony Rumble Johnson, light heavyweight in the UFC. The big fight coming up this Saturday in Las Vegas, UFC 202. It's Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz is the main event. The Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Glover Teixeira is the co-main event coming up this Saturday. We're looking forward to it. Now, you, for like 5 years, you were a middleweight, and you moved up.
Welterweight.
You were a welterweight. That's right. Welterweight, middleweight, and then light heavyweight. Welterweight, which is in the 170s.
Yeah.
And now you're 205. How do you bulk up like that? I mean, it's just natural
I was already
growth?
big. I was already big.
You had to stay unnaturally small to fight as a welterweight?
It wasn't naturally staying small. I was just getting big. Naturally, when I was fighting at 170, I was walking around 210, dropping down to 170.
Wow.
Okay.
So that must have hurt you, your performance.
It did.
Speed-wise.
It did.
Yeah.
The speed was still there. It was the stamina.
The stamina?
Yeah,
Really?
that's what was killing me.
So what do you do? Like Pilates, naked yoga? How do you
hot yoga, hot naked
none
yoga?
Of that. None of the above.
None
of the
you lift weights and you run and you push weights around and you grapple and you spar. I mean, what is let's say a typical run? How many miles a week does Anthony Johnson run?
Maybe 7.
That's it. I figured like 2 a day, like maybe 12 a week. So you're doing 7 or 8. And what do you eat? Like during the average day, what do you eat? You watch every calorie, I
don't really watch my calories and stuff like that. I just pretty much eat healthy, small meals. I don't really care about the calories and things like that. Everything's all in.
See, McGregor is not a good-looking guy. So, and you can tell him I said this.
You're like the second person to tell me he looks older than what he is.
He looks horrible. So if he takes a couple shots to the face, it don't mean nothing. You're a good-looking kid.
Thank you.
What are you doing with that? Somebody's going to mess your face up. Why you want to do that?
Well, usually the fights don't last that long. So I get them before they get me. So. That's why.
But you've had 26 fights, 27 fights. I mean,
you still look remarkably well for 26 fights.
It was. I fought Andrei Arlovsky, who was the former UFC heavyweight champion. I fought him when I was with another organization, and I got a cut. On
here, your forehead?
No, that happened when I was a kid.
Okay,
I don't remember how that happened, but I got a cut like somewhere on my face.
Yeah,
and Julie was with me.
Julie Zastro.
She went to the fight with me, and I used to always tell him, like, dude, I don't look like a fighter. Like, I don't have any cuts or anything on my face. So when I got that cut on my face, I went to the doctor, and they were about to stitch it up. I was like, no, leave it alone. Like, I want to look
good.
Like I played a part, look like I'm a fighter and stuff. But, they stitch it up, and you can't even tell.
Yeah, no, your face looks great.
Now, so Sid was saying earlier, disrespectfully, that to be a fan of the UFC, you have to be half a retard or whatever,
it's not a full
whatever
retard.
He said.
A Neanderthal.
But listen, the point here is there's so much to learn. There's so much strategy and technique, especially in the grappling area. So many holes. Rear naked chokehold, Kimura, guillotine, and all these leg lock positions, things you have to do. I mean, it's like baseball. There's a lot of stuff. It's not just what you see. It looks like a couple of troglodytes banging each other up. You have to learn a lot of strategy. And your strategy is you're strong on the grappling, if I'm not mistaken, right?
My wrestling is pretty strong.
Right, exactly.
And my striking.
So you are a very, very intelligent fighter. You have to know a lot of stuff. I mean, how long does it take you to learn all these different strategies? I mean,
either you got it or you
years,
don't.
Right?
I mean, you can't teach.
How I know that's true?
But you teach stupidity. That's for sure.
Because what's his name? He just died. God rest his soul. Kimbo Slice. I know Kimbo from down in Miami, right? This guy won every street fight. He was out there. He was beating ass all over town. And then when they get into the ring and actually be a fighter like you are, he was lost.
Mm-hmm.
So there's where you see the distinction between a tough guy who can get out in the street and beat somebody's ass and get in the ring with a guy like you and get humiliated.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, it's a night and day difference.
Night and day.
Night and day difference.
Have you ever, like Mitch Bud Green once beat Mike Tyson's ass in the street? Remember that? They were in the street in the Bronx. Maybe not. Mitch Green beat his ass. Have you ever been in a fight?
I heard the name. I know you're talking about.
Have you ever been in a fight outside the ring where you lost? Maybe you were a bouncer. Somebody,
Let me see.
Somebody had to kick your ass in Georgia. Come on.
I got, you know what? I was in.
Come on.
3rd grade. I was in 3rd grade, and there was this girl. I mean, and her and I are the best of friends right now to this day. I spoke to her the other day on Facebook.
Right.
Her name was Talitha Quarterman.
Right.
And Talitha was bothering me so bad, man, And she got up in my face. We had PE.
Right.
She got in my face, and I pushed her out of my face. Man, that girl walked up to me. She walked up to me and hit me. And I don't know if I just closed my eyes and started swinging, but I think she hit me so many times because after the fight, I started touching my face and my jaws were hurting and everything else. And I looked at her and she was fine.
Yeah.
I was like, this girl must have whooped my ass, boy, so bad.
Hurt so good.
So there's nothing Teixeira can do this weekend to even match that.
No. And the thing about it, what made my confidence go up, what made me know I got beat up was when I got in 6th grade, it was to graduate to go to the 7th grade. That's just how, I don't know if they do it here in New York.
Yeah,
but where I'm from, that's how they do it in Georgia.
Yeah.
And we were practicing graduation, and Talitha got into a fight with this girl named Angie Poole. And I seen how fast she punched Angie Poole.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, Man, if she hit that girl like that, I wonder what she did to me. In front of all of my boys, the entire gym class.
That's funny,
She
man.
put it on me bad.
That's funny.
So,
speaking of which, even in the UFC, the women's division, the women's fighters, there are many exciting fights. I mean, starting with Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's earlier fights, but the
Holmes lost
Rousey,
2 in a row, though, right?
And then Holmes lost to Miesha Tate, and Miesha Tate.
Two in a row. I think Holmes. Yeah.
Right, but the women. I mean, you have a lot of respect for the women fighters now.
oh yeah,
sure.
I think a woman can basically do anything a man can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a woman, it's a man. We're built differently. But when it comes down to certain sports.
Hey, I remember Christy Martin, and I remember Layla, Muhammad's daughter.
Yeah.
She was tough, man. That was real.
No, there are a lot of tough women out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be tough to be able to
Right,
pop out a kid. You know?
Speaking of Anthony Rumble
Damn right.
Johnson, light heavyweight in the UFC, pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. The Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz rematch, and it's going to be Rumble Johnson versus Glover Teixeira. That's the co-main event. It's going to be a fantastic fight, folks. You, I understand, want to get on that UFC 205 card that's coming up here in New York City, downstairs at Madison Square Garden, early November.
Yes.
Do you see yourself, who do you envision fighting at that particular event?
Daniel Cormier.
Daniel
who's the champ.
Cormier. Wow, that would be some match. Now, let me ask you this also. Dana White spoke at the Republican National Convention, big Trump supporter. You know Dana White.
Yeah.
He pretty much runs the UFC. He sold a big portion of it. Your thoughts on Dana White supporting Donald Trump?
No words.
So you're not the.
I'm not into politics.
Right.
You know, we're just trying to make news here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's not happening.
Say
right
something.
Not gonna happen.
Say something.
Enough of that.
Say Dana White, man, you next.
I'm going to say it for him.
Bitch.
Ain't no way.
Say it.
Dana, I just want a bigger check.
That's it.
So I'm gonna keep my mouth
I'll
closed.
say it for him. Ain't no way Anthony Johnson's voting for Donald Trump. I'll say it for you.
I think either way we're in trouble.
Well, that's true, too.
See that? Now, there's
That's just the way I see
a
it.
diplomat and a very intelligent man.
That's the right answer.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, we wish you all the luck. One of the baddest dudes on the planet here.
Thank you.
Saturday night, folks, pay-per-view, UFC 202 in Las Vegas. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Anthony Rumble Johnson versus Glover Teixeira.
Knock him out.
This Saturday night, check it out, pay-per-view. You will not be disappointed. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Back on Bernie and Sid after this.
Bernie and Sid on demand.
You never know what's going to happen.
The WABC radio app. Download it now. Upload the BS. 77 WABC.
Crooked CNN. CNN is so disgusting. CNN. Oh, look, their camera just shut off. Their camera just went off. That's funny. I got to know all the cameras, all those red lights on. You know what? I just said CNN is disgusting. And by the way, their ratings are going down big league. You know why? Because I refuse to be interviewed, and I get high ratings. What can I tell you?
Back on Bernie and Sid on 77 WABC. I will say this, CNN was all over the Milwaukee. I mean, it was leading the news. And they were all over the cleric being shot, horrible, tragic assassination of the imam.
Yeah.
It is imam, not Iman.
Right.
As our news woman was saying earlier.
Yeah.
But they were all over it. Now, I've been watching them this morning. They kind of pulled back because it doesn't exactly fit the narrative for CNN.
Which one? The imam story or Milwaukee?
Both. The Milwaukee thing, it turns out the gunman was armed. And the cop was black.
Right.
Not good for the narrative.
No. And a bad kid, by the way. Armed and a bad kid. A long, long resume rap sheet.
Not good for the narrative.
No.
And also with the imam, they arrested somebody last night at 11 o'clock. And the cops have not come out and said it's a hate crime. Everybody's demanding that they call it a hate crime before an investigation finds anything out or leads to the notion that it is a hate crime. But it also, they're blaming Trump and this and that. And we demand justice. We all demand justice, but let the cops look around. Let them find it. So it tells me that this guy they're holding is it may be somebody maybe from a rival mosque or a Sunni Shiite thing, not necessarily the narrative that they wanted, which is a Trump-inspired bigot assassinated an imam on the streets of Queens.
So what do? You watch Fox News and that's it? basically.
I just told you I watched CNN all weekend.
I know, but on one hand you watch them, but you're killing them on the other hand.
You want to know the harsh truth?
Yes.
I've stopped watching a lot of Fox News, majority of Fox News. I watch CNN. I'm trying to watch CNN, but they've become so, as Trump says, they become so biased since the
at
primary.
night. You mean at night? Because I got to tell you, the one morning show the one morning show that I can watch and I can stomach is MSNBC, and it's because of Joe. Mika, I can't stand. I can't stand her.
They both suck.
No, but Joe tries to play it both ways.
Total phony fraud.
I know he is, but he tries. I can't watch Hemmer and McCallum sucking off Donald Trump all day. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Easy. I can't watch. A lot of it I can't watch. And plus,
that's what they do.
What happened to Roger Ailes? I watch, of course, O'Reilly. I watch Hannity.
Bill's great. That's fine. Sean's on too late for me.
Well, I mean,
I don't watch Megan.
I try to watch everything. Of course, I don't watch her. Don't watch a lot of other stuff.
No.
But so I watch a lot. I broaden my horizons, and that's what I watch. I don't sit there like some Fox News nerd.
Neither do I.
But
I actually watch MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News throughout the day, every day. Every day there's a show on each one of those networks that I enjoy.
But you have, for example, on CNN, they'll have a panel of 9 people. Maybe one of them is a Trump supporter.
Maybe.
And you have, right?
Right. It's Axelrod.
It's Donna Brazil.
Very good.
The big, you have Trump.
They have Paul Begala
Never Trump people.
Right, Begala.
Who are furious at Trump. And so they're all ganging up on the one Trump supporter. And so it's impossible to watch. And similarly, a lot of that with Fox as well.
Donald Trump goes to war. Maybe that's the wrong word to use. I get mad when athletes use that. But Donald Trump goes to work every day with Paul Manafort. And the Clintons, they go to work every day with Carville. And it's not close. It is not even close. We could talk about the media coverage. We could talk about Trump, how unfairly he's treated, and he is.
Agreed. Carville is a master.
I mean, Trump's campaign it's kindergarten compared to the Clintons.
You're right.
Kindergarten.
Absolutely. He's a novice. He did not realize that after the media sucked him in and lulled him into a sense of complacency. We love you, Donald Trump. We love you. And then as soon as he got the nomination, and it was him versus crooked Hillary
and her camp,
they were totally. But the camp is vicious enough and able and competent and experienced. You're right, absolutely right. Carville and these guys, that's a machine, a formidable machine. And Trump didn't realize A, that the media would turn on him, and B, how effective this machine could be. That's a well-seasoned machine.
So with that said, why doesn't he put more trust into a guy like Manafort, who's been around for 4 decades and has been around some very impressive politicians, and put some more people around him that can at least get in the fight with Clinton's people instead of just doing everything by himself?
It's on-the-job training. Again, I still think he thinks what got him to the nomination will help him, will serve him well in the general election.
We know he thinks that because he came out and said, listen, I don't know who told you that I'm going to pivot and be different. I ain't doing any of that.
I got to be me.
That's it.
But I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know. I mean, right now, he's going to give a speech today. It's going to be a serious, sober foreign policy speech. The more he focuses on ISIS and things like that, that helps him. Polls show that they trust him more on terrorism than they do Hillary Clinton, and on the economy. So he's got to stick to stuff like that, I guess.
But he spoke about the economy last Monday. Hillary spoke about the economy last Thursday, and he still did not get any improvement in the polls. Because after his speech on Monday, which wasn't bad, the next day, that Tuesday, was that the Obama ISIS? There was something else that happened Tuesday. May not have been Obama found ISIS.
It is hard to keep track of. I think it's the Obama ISIS.
Was that the one? Found ISIS?
The minor things that the media seizes on and turns them into some sort of war crime.
Again, for the 1,000th time, if you know, I agree that's the case. He knows that's the case. Stop saying things to give them ammunition. Go up there, do your speech, and shut up.
Listen, how was it making out with Anthony Rumble Johnson? Did you guys actually tongued each other?
It's funny.
It was so sickening.
It's funny because I know him for 10 years.
Right. You were talking such trash before.
Not about him. About this. I like the guys. I like Frankie Edgar. I like him. I just don't like the sport. I think the sport is way too much. It's too much. I don't need all that blood.
You acknowledged to him that boxing is
the heavyweights are dead.
Is an anachronistic sport. The heavyweight, the whole sport is dead.
No, it's not dead. Stop it.
It's awful.
No, it's not.
I took a picture of that Sid giving him a big giant bear hug. It's on our Twitter and Facebook.
Hey, let me say this. It turns out I do know him for 10 years, and I was very excited to talk to him. He was the one who told me, I remember you from Miami. We have a friend in common, Julie Zastro. I went out with your old agent, Mark Lepselter. I was a blah, blah, blah. He was the one that was giving me all that stuff. Yes or no?
That's true.
He seemed genuinely excited to see me.
And that's when you just turned completely. You pivoted, and speaking of pivot, and it was...
because when...
boxing sucks, but you're a great guy.
No, but I did say, I still said, when you pressed me, I still said your sport is for Neanderthals and retards. Did I not? I did.
You did.
I did.
You did.
And he wasn't going to hit me because I knew at that point he loved me. I wouldn't have said that if, in fact, I thought he didn't like me very much.
Well, will this, in any way, shape, or form...
I'm going to watch.
...convert you? I mean,
yes.
You take off the skinny jeans and put on some man pants and get into the UFC, bro. I'm telling you, this is the shizzle right here.
I will watch Saturday because I do like him. I know him for a decade. And I do like McGregor. I told you that this morning.
And the McGregor-Diaz fight, look, it went 5 rounds last time. It was one of the most exciting bouts in history.
Yeah.
Diaz-McGregor.
Well, you're Ali Frazier.
You laugh, but I mean, it is a modern day Ali Frazier.
Fine. So here's what I'll do for you. I will get into it Saturday because I like Johnson and I do like McGregor.
And Teixeira is a very, very nice guy.
Okay.
Lives up in Danbury, Connecticut. So a local guy.
If in fact it measures up to the excitement that you've got, then I'm in. But if it's a stinker, that's it. It's done.
1-800-848.
Until the next time somebody comes to the studio.
9222. Bernie and Sid back after this.